the pain you go through isn't just for you to feel it. It's meant to teach you a lesson. And they say human beings learn the most from pain. They say anyone who wants peace has to prepare for war.
Yeah. Today I'm here with Mr. Charles Okpala. He's a Nigerian American author, a cybersecurity executive, a brand strategist, a community leader, and an entrepreneur. You write about women in your life. Okay. And honestly, most men wouldn't. Most men would not do that. But how do you get that honest with yourself?
Doing therapy.
You know, some people go through therapy, but yet they're not open.
Yeah.
You know, so what made you, because that's very honest. You could still say, well, you know.
But it was expensive.
You're like, I can't spend this money. You even got up to the point where you spoke about beef flakes. And
wow, is this where we're at?
yes, that's where we're at. I told you I was excited. Okay. Hi guys, I'm so happy to announce that we are at our 1,000 subscriber mark. Yay! And we're so happy that you have been supporting our page. I am truly honored that you consistently watch our videos and subscribe and turn on your notification bell. It really makes a difference. I hope that you can continue to do so. If you enjoyed this episode, please make sure to subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and just be sure to leave a comment. It helps us. It really helps me know exactly what you like, and it helps me go further, get more guests, and just keep soaring to bring you guys amazing content and authentic experiences. Thank you and enjoy your episode. Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Deep Dive Podcast. My name is Raisa and today I'm here with Mr. Charles Okpala. He's a Nigerian American author, a cybersecurity executive with over 8 years of experience, a brand strategist, a community leader, and an entrepreneur. He's had so many businesses, some of which have failed, but some of which are doing really, really well. One of them is Stay Light. Also, he's a vice president of Ace Tennis Club. And we're going to get into all of this. How did he build it? Where is it coming from? And especially, we're going to go into his book, which is his latest release. Help us welcome Mr. Charles. Yay.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. How are you feeling?
I'm well.
Excited, I hope, because I am.
I hope.
Well, we're going to get into all of those things I just mentioned. It's a handful. You're doing amazing work in the community. You're constantly growing and challenging yourself and looking for the next thing.
Thank you.
And I think the main thing that we would get into, not right now, but the main thing that we will get into is just how do people stop performing in roles that societies have created for them and be authentic in their calling and in their work.
Yeah.
But before any of that information, let's set the stage. Let's get to know you. So tell me about your upbringing, how you grew up, your background, before all the success, before all the story. Tell me about that little Charles, the boy, Mama Charlie's son.
Wow, you did your research.
I did.
I'm the third of 4 kids. Technically middle child. First son of my mom. Troublesome kid. Lost his ways. But the good thing is I grew up in a loving home. Though my parents were divorced early, I had to grow up quick. And growing up quick came with this challenges, came with this. Yeah, the positives and negatives. I learned a lot. Learned both the good things and both the bad things. And being that I have a younger brother, I always told him, don't do what I do. Learn what not to do.
Do what I tell you, don't do what I do.
I'm the guinea pig. I'll make all the mistakes for us. Go ahead and be the better son, basically. So he was the A student. He was the good boy.
The golden boy.
Yeah. And I was the headache. I was the proverbial black sheep of the family. And that led me down different paths. But thank God we're here.
Yeah. So talking about you being the middle child, this comes a little bit, in your book, but did you ever feel overlooked? Because parents generally tend to either place attention on the first. It's like, this is the love, this is the one. Then the second is like, we've been there, done that. And then the last one is like, oh my God, this is the last one, the baby. Did you ever feel, like overlooked and sometimes forgotten-ish?
I won't say overlooked, because my older sisters were in medical school, doctors. My younger brother was a good boy. I was
the black sheep.
Just there. So it was like at different points, the only time I felt remembered was when I did something bad. So I got used to wanting that attention. So there was a lot of bad.
So you were, I guess you were causing trouble because that's how you got attention, right?
Yes.
Would you say so?
Yes. I was troublesome to an extent. But I still had a good heart. It came from a loving place.
Yes. Yes, we can tell. I mean, we can definitely tell that. And you described your father, right, as apparently disinterested in his children. And your mother as someone who clearly loves you fearlessly, very God-fearing. Our African mothers, covering you and praying for you even when you don't think she's praying for you. And somehow you see those prayers working. As a child, how did you understand that combination? As a child, how did that affect you?
I was confused. There was a deep desire to understand the dynamic, because on one hand, my dad's family, we're still holidaying with the family, we're still doing all of that. My dad wasn't there. It was then my mom was always the one reaching out.
To your dad's family?
Yeah.
Okay.
I had my uncles, I had my cousins. Like, we still holiday, we still do all of that. And they would tell me, "Oh, your dad loves you," but I didn't see it. But as I grew older, I realized there was a mental shift. Because as I became a man, I started understanding the struggles that...
I was supposed to ask, now do you feel like, okay, now you understand?
At least I
you can
something.
Start to be like, okay, maybe he was going through his own dark things and, just didn't know how to handle it properly.
Exactly.
Okay.
So now how I decided to view it is, instead of hating on him as an individual, I learned what not to be like. Like an old friend of mine asked me about my dad and what have I learned from the situation. And I told her, I've learned what not to be as a man.
That's deep. That's really deep, and that's really great that you have come to that place, because I think most of the time we become mirrors of our parents.
Yeah.
Unknowingly or knowingly, the people that raised you, it reflects on the kind of person you are. And so some people they just see that as normal.
Yeah.
Like, oh, well, this is how my dad was, then this is how my mom is, so it's just a given that I'll be that way.
Exactly.
But in your case, for you to be like, okay, well, I know what not to be, that's some serious reflection and therapy work.
Yeah, that was one of the lessons.
Yeah.
During my first round of therapy, and when I actually opened up myself to therapy. Because the first time I did therapy in Nigeria, it wasn't therapy like that.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So I think, so then would you relate that to, because dad wasn't really in the picture and, it was like the only way for you to get attention was by being stubborn, that you just kind of kept that too? Was it a way of also expressing yourself?
No, it was,
when you were being the troublesome.
Funny enough, yeah, it was me wanting to learn how to be a man. So growing up as a kid, right from my first junior high school, during summer holidays, I would go to my friends' houses that their parents are still together. And and learn from their dads.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Just that was I'm a very observant person. I'm also perceptive. I perceive energies and all that. So I go to my friend's house, like see how his father treats him, see the lessons he learned from his father, see what his father is teaching him. I learned how to wash a car.
But how old were you when you were learning all of what?
I started learning, properly learning, at 14.
Okay. That's when you were, I guess you were aware that this
Yes.
was your goal. Like you were doing it intentionally. It was not just, because you know how as kids we learn from seeing. That was when you're like, okay, I want to see, I'm learning.
Yes.
Okay.
Because that was when I started driving. That was when I started doing like stealing my mom's car. She was a banker, so she'd go to work as early as 4 a.m., come back late at night.
Oh my God.
I had spare keys to her car, so I just zipped. But yeah, I learned how to wash a car. I learned how to change the tires, like just the bare minimum. For me, it was more of wanting to learn from someone older than me, because there were a lot of things I didn't understand, and my mom was busy. She did her best. Like, I love her to death.
But still.
But still, it doesn't... Two things can be true. Like, she loves me, but, you know...
She was busy.
She was busy. Yeah.
And that's very common in our society, especially with single mothers, you know, like you love your child, but you're single, you have to work, you know, you need to take care of them. And it's like, sometimes you have to be absent in order to provide what you need to, right? It's a given.
Sacrifice.
It's the society.
Yeah.
Even with two parents, there can still be that absence.
They can
you know? So let's go now to Lagos. Okay. Spontaneous entertainment. Made in Giddy. Brand strategist. Artist management. Looking back at all these roles that you have had, what were you actually looking for
Happiness.
in the jobs, in the different roles?
Just happiness. I always thought excitement was equal to happiness.
Okay.
I always thought dopamine rush was equal to happiness. I would be at parties. I would organize parties, but I'll still be sad. I'll still be sad.
At the parties?
Yes.
With everyone dancing, everyone being happy, you would just be in the corner
I can be in the middle of the dance floor.
And you're sad.
I'm still alone. I was that, like, growing up, I was that guy who was...
Could people see that? Or you're really
No.
good at masking it?
Yes. I was heavy. The mask was heavy. Yeah, the mask was heavy. And at times when there were multiple times the mask slipped and my real emotions were shown. And those were ugly.
I don't want to go too deep because we're gonna get into it. So I don't want to start peeling too fast because, like, you know, we're gonna get to that, and we're gonna get to that real quick. So you said you went to Dubai, but actually you were in Sharjah.
I was in Sharjah.
Sharjah.
The city is just outside of Dubai.
Yeah, it's one of an Emirates country, I guess you could say, but still, it's not Dubai.
It's not Dubai.
And while people were thinking that you're living this lavish life flexing, you were in a roach infested apartment with 4 other men running out of money, having to work as a bouncer at a club.
Yeah.
I mean, at what point did you realize that wasn't working? Like, that lifestyle was just not it.
You see, I was just coasting. My trip to Dubai or Sharjah was birthed out of... It was from the moment when the mask slipped at one point. And the person I saw in the mirror was ugly. So I needed to separate myself from the entire system. So Lagos was too small. Abuja was too small. Port Harcourt was too small.
You just wanted to go
Nigeria
somewhere
was
different.
Too small. I needed to just get out.
Like you were running.
Yes. So I ran. But the good thing is I didn't just run. It wasn't just one of them moments of isolation. my very good friend Freddie, my best friend, godfather to his son, he took me to the airport. On my way to the airport, I stopped at a bookstore. I bought books.
3 books.
I bought books, put in my bag, got on the plane. I got books and 2 packs of cigarettes, 2 big boxes of cigarettes, put in my bag, got on the plane, got to Dubai. My cousin came to get me from the airport, took me to Sharjah. I said, no, I'm not going to your place. He said, no, I'm not going to your place. You're not going to my place. You're going somewhere else. As I got to the apartment, no, I'm outside. It was looking good.
You get in.
Oh, when I got in.
You're like, where am I?
He said, just stay here for tonight. And that tonight became my entire time.
The entire time. How long were you there?
3 months.
Okay, that's a long time.
Yeah. Torturous.
That's a long time.
But it gave me time to do the shadow work I needed to do. I read, I wrote, I thought, and, I went back to Nigeria. It was still Freddie who came to pick me from the airport.
I see. So that night at the apartment, that's one of the times when the mask fell off and you were just face down, crying and weeping and just praying. What were you praying for?
A sign.
What sign?
I don't know. I just needed a sign. Because I realized that everything I was writing was dark. Everything I was writing was about hurting myself. Because I had moments when I had attempted, and I didn't like the outcome. Till today, I'm still looking for a friend of mine. His name is Felix.
We'll get to her.
I'm still looking for that. I'm still looking for my friend. Yeah. But wherever you are, please.
Reach out. Reach out. You said you read, you bought 3 books, right? The one that really spoke to you is the Kabbalion?
The Kabbalion.
Kabbalion. Why? Why did that one stand out to you in that moment with everything you were going through?
Because it was just questioning the norm. What was the accepted norm? And that in itself showed me that I can have these thoughts. Like, I'm not evil for having these thoughts. I'm not going to hellfire for having these thoughts. Like, questions need to be asked. If I'm going to attain that, if I'm going to attain nirvana, if I'm going to get to that point of pure bliss and happiness, like, I need to ask questions. I need to shake things up. Like, it's not... They say anyone who wants peace has to prepare for war.
Yeah.
So you need to check yourself, check your insides. Where am I here? Why am I here? What am I doing wrong? What needs to change? Yes.
You write about women in your life. Okay. And honestly, most men wouldn't. Most men would not do that. But and that's one of the reasons why I was just like, oh wow, I'm so excited for this episode, because I've never seen that amount of just like vulnerability and just very open and just very raw. You know what I mean? So you write about women in your life, and you don't act like the victim. You even call yourself the antagonist in the book. And that's why I was like, how do you get that honest with yourself?
So, during therapy, my therapist, we're just chatting. Real G. This was during pandemic. We're just talking, telling stories and everything. And at some point, he said, okay, stop. Tell me about every significant relationship you've had. And be honest with yourself. What role did you play in messing it up? What role did you know how it is when you ask someone, they want to always embellish their, like, I'm the good guy, I was really hurt. I'm like, no. So I went down the rabbit hole. I figured, we traced that some of the traumas were from the divorce and how they're manifesting in my intimate relationships with, just being emotionally unavailable or wanting the perks of being in a committed relationship. Yeah. So I narrowed it down to all the important ones and wrote about them.
Some people go through therapy, but yet they're not open.
Yeah.
So what made you, because that's very honest. You could still say, well,
But it was expensive.
You're like, I can't spend this money and not get anything out of it.
Because it makes no sense. I see people go through therapy, and when they come out of the session,
it's the same.
And I have the conversation with them. I'm like, did you tell your therapist this? Like, no. I'm like, why? So why are you not paying this person? Like, if you're doing therapy, like, do the work. There's no need to beat around the bush.
Yeah.
Like, you're there. If you have a health scare and you go see a doctor and the doctor says, oh, where is the problem? You will immediately tell him the problem. You won't tell him the symptoms are, like, you tell him this is where the issue is. So why not do that with your therapist? Like, why not? Just get it over with. Like, it quickens the recovery process.
I mean, you even got up to the point where you spoke about beef flakes. And
wow, is this where we're at?
Yes, that's where we're at. I told you I was excited. Okay, and this was, and the reason why I'm bringing that up is because we're touching a little bit on a relationship issue. So, I mean, it was just a matter of, I don't want you to be perfect. I don't want you to do anything for me. I don't want you to even, I just need you to show up consistently.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of relationships are like that. A lot of times I think women, get to that point where they're so in love with the person or in love with who they think this person could be, that they are willing to, just to make it work, just to have that person, they're willing to say, well, I just need you to show up. And yet you still couldn't do that. Why?
I think I wasn't the man that I needed myself to be for her at that time. Because that's I didn't think I deserved the love that
she was given.
Yeah.
So if a woman is in that situation right now, do you think she should stay with the man and give him space? Should she fight, or is it a lost cause? Honestly,
I take it. I make it a point not to advise people in relationships.
This is just your opinion. Okay,
in my opinion,
it's not a perfect. He's not a love coach. He's not a relationship coach. I didn't mention that, but just from your own, do you know what I mean? As a man,
I'll just say, take off the rose-colored glasses. Like, step out of the relationship and actually look holistically. Like, is this person actually working towards something? Are we making moves towards a certain point? Or this is just a time filler?
Time bomb.
Yeah.
Okay. The reason why I'm asking that too is because even though this did not work out with one person, but with Uzo.
Oh, my queen. Oof.
With Uzo, you wanted to be better for her.
Yes.
Even though you were still going through therapy, you were still going through very dark times, you decided that you wanted to be better for her. Unlike avoiding running away, you decided to make a change. How, at what point did you know that, and these are things that you did not want to do for yourself, but you wanted to do it for her? Why?
I see myself as God's favorite. God loves me because a lot of people don't get these chances.
He does.
A lot of people don't get this. A lot of people get it once in a lifetime. I have been blessed enough to have loved, to have given love, to have received love, and having met Uzo, she's an answer to prayers. So it's like, for me, it's like, okay, I'm willing to do the work for you to become the man that you deserve. And she didn't know I was in therapy.
She didn't?
No. She didn't know. It was pandemic. I had moved from Atlanta, moved to Maryland here. I was working remotely. She's a doctor, so she's going to work. So why should I work? I do my therapy. And she come back to nothing.
See that, ladies? Do you see that? You don't have to say, oh, just give me this. He would do it. If you are the one, you wouldn't have to say anything. He would know that, listen, if I want to be with this woman, I have to be the best version of myself. He was doing it for her, not even for himself.
I mean, because for me, when I saw everything, I was like, it only made sense. If not, I'll be sabotaging. And that would mean that I didn't learn anything from all my journey. That would mean the pain was in vain. That would mean the season of self-loathing was in vain. That would mean all of that. That would be me going around the mountain again. And I couldn't afford that.
And coincidentally, or by the work of God and answered prayer, she's a painter too. And we know that, painting came from your therapy when Dr. X, told you to pick up the acrylic paint and start painting your childhood. I need to know, what did you paint? How did it look?
I have a storage of of different artworks. So during the pandemic, while I was in therapy, I was painting. I started painting on them little canvases. And I was posting it on social media. My friends who know me, they're like, this can't be you, young man. Like, no one ever knew I had an artistic bone in myself.
Yeah, I know, from the life of the party.
I'm like, look, this is not me showing that I'm a painter. Hence the book, hence the title of the book. Because for each chapter, there was a painting. Initially, it was 12 chapters, but I reduced it to 10 because the other 2 were redundant. So each of those chapters have their own individual paintings. And friends of mine bought them. So at every point I was posting these paintings to them, I would write at the back, please take good care of it. This is a piece of me you have. So it was me giving pieces of myself to my friends. And so those friends who have those paintings know those are my dear friends. Yeah.
Wow. That's really good. They're supporting you. That's amazing.
It was
supporting your work. That's how we even met, right?
Yeah.
A friend connected us. So you definitely have a strong circle of support.
I am blessed to have these people in my life.
Mommy Charlie's prayers. I can tell they're working. I'm still amazed at how, I guess, emotionally, as an African man too, that's why I'm saying this, emotionally in tune you are. We're in the DMV area, there's more African men here. And it's the norm, which is what you're trying to have people question or shake the table on. It's just, I'm a man. I can't be emotionally, I can't tell you, I can't show my weaknesses. I can't open up I can accept that I'm the one, I'm the antagonist in my relationship. I can't be open. I can't say, I wrote this book and I cried and I made all these mistakes. And that's why I was like, so how did you remove that mindset? African Nigerian man, and this book is literally like,
So is those labels that
yeah,
I fight against? Like beyond all of that, I'm a man. Be it African, be it American, be whatever. I'm a man. I'm a human being. And first off, we're made in God's image. We know God is a creative. We know He is emotional. We know He's expressive. So why aren't we creating? Why aren't we expressing? Why aren't we evolving? Why aren't we communing truly? Like honestly? Why are we tying ourselves to labels? Why are we tying ourselves to tags? I have conversations with young men from time to time, like, how do you relate with this situation? And they're like, oh, I'm a man, I do it. I'm like, no, chill. Wouldn't you rather do this way and get this result as opposed to being a bad boy and the alternative? Like, all I'm trying to do is just spark a thought in people's heads, like to view these things differently. I let you know that you can have a blissful relationship. You can live your life to the fullest. You don't have to tie yourself down by tags, by labels, and all of that. The pain you go through isn't just for you. It isn't just for you to feel it. It's meant to teach you a lesson. And they say human beings learn the most from pain. Our sensories.
yeah.
Yeah. And that was one of my toxic traits, but that's that was in the past.
Okay. And and that's one thing too that I'm like, even with you being because sometimes being emotional, being vulnerable, being honest is seen as a weakness. I would not say only to men, even for some women, it's like, oh, you've been open, you've been emotional, you've been used, and they take it for granted, and so now you start building these walls, to prevent people from having that part of you that they could hurt you. But I think what also came across in your book is that I feel like now you're more in control. You've gone through all of these different things, so it seems like you have more power over like your emotions, over how you move, over how you talk, over the things that you allow to affect you and not.
Yeah.
So, which means, being emotional, being vulnerable, being honest to yourself actually made you more powerful rather than I am,
It actually did, because when you look at it this way, when you're giving bits of you to people, you're collecting data. You're collecting data on what situation, some situational awareness, basically, on who is for you, who is not for you, what is for you, what isn't for you. In my new book, there's a task. It's called the role audit. You audit your life, see what works for you and what doesn't work for you. And if what doesn't work for you outnumbers what works for you, then you know what to do. You will be able to make a change. You know that you're overextended. So then you can now reassess and readjust. So now it's now I know where I'm welcomed. I know who I can give myself to. And I'm not saying people still don't hurt me, but I know that it is not malicious. It is just them being humans. Human beings make mistakes. Yeah.
You don't look at it as, even though it's like, some people,
No.
you don't see it as something malicious. Even when you're like, how could you do this to me? I told you this is my pain point, and you went right to it and you poked in it. You see it as them just being people?
Yeah.
That's very gracious.
Because
I don't think I'm there.
because I ask for that same level of grace too, because I make mistakes too. I do.
I don't know. Maybe I need therapy because I'm gonna. This is not me though, but let's stay on topic because I don't know. Okay, so Stay Light, Ace Tennis Club, which I love, the book. You're currently pursuing your MBA. You're a cybersecurity executive. I mean, your bio says that your central question is how do people stop performing in roles that society gives them and start building lives rooted in that purpose? Are you currently living that life right now?
So right now I'll say yes, and I'll say I'm also evolving because I'm putting myself out there to learn new things. My primary philosophy is to help the old version of myself I see in people. Hence all the things I have my hands in. ACEs. When I was morbidly obese, I started playing tennis, and I lost 100 pounds playing tennis. And I see people who want to lose weight, and they're going to the gym, and I'm like, chill. Come, let's play tennis. Let's just do 2 hours of playing tennis. You don't need to do it every day, three times a week, and see what happens. And for some, it's people who have stayed consistent. They've seen results. Then, for my other charitable work, is okay. Instead of staying hungry, come, let's teach you a skill. I can't just keep giving you money. I can't just keep giving you food. Come, we'll teach you a skill. You learn. You can feed yourself. You can feed your family. And for the few success stories we have, it's worked for them.
What skill is that?
Whatever. We have people who are barbers. We have people who are mechanics. We have people who are just writers. We have people who are photographers.
That's work with your nonprofit?
Yeah.
Just so anybody can just reach out?
I mean, yes, you can reach out. We do our research. We don't just,
Of course.
Yeah, then we have individuals we're sponsoring in school in Nigeria. We have widows on payroll. We have people we're taking care of. Yeah.
That's amazing. Wow. That's good. So someone will reach out and you're able to guide them into a skill that they could be good at. And then instead of you always just handing out money, they're able to be self-sufficient.
Yes.
And feel independent.
And it also helps if they have a passion. So it's not like we're forcing some skill down their throat. They have a passion and that's why I want people to know themselves first. Like, understand who you are. What is your passion? What do you think you're put on here to do? So if you feel you're put on here to play ball, for example, what have you done with it? Do you just sit down and watch TV saying, oh, I want to play ball, I want to?
And I think that's something that, for those of you guys that watch, that have watched a couple of my episodes, I feel like everyone I bring, which makes me know that I'm bringing the right persons on here, you have to have a passion. And I think that's something that people take lightly. They just fall into a job and just sit in it. You come to America, you fall into a job, maybe working as a home health aide, maybe working as an administrative person for an office, a giant, something, and then you just sit in it. And you forget that you need to find out, what do you actually love? What is your calling? It does not have to be something grandiose or, above the top or like, oh, you're going to be this corporate owner or something. But it's something that I think everyone needs to look inwards and see, and find your calling. Instead of just surviving, you need to thrive.
Yeah. I tell people we're not just here to be economic statistics. We're here to evolve. We're in the land of the brave and home of the free, right? So we have the freedom to explore. Become better versions of ourselves.
And even for those back home, even if you're not here, those in Nigeria, those in Cameroon, those in any other African countries or in Asia, China, wherever you are, right? You need to find something. Because I think this is something that my mom always says, when opportunity meets preparedness, then something happens.
Yes.
You have to have something for someone to bless you. You can't be empty and you're expecting that somehow, this thing is just going to happen for you without you having any foundation without you having any foundation. And I think that's the case. Like we understand, like Africa, the continent back home, it's tough. It's no one is saying that it's easy. It's tough. It's hard to get a job. It's hard to learn something. It's hard to even provide the basic necessities. But it's also very important that you know what you're good at. You know your calling. You figure it out, look for it, search, try things, read, research, attend, watch videos, seminars, listen to podcasts. And that way you can find out, hey, I think this is something I like to do.
We have a success story of a lady who she makes hair.
Mm-hmm.
But she was an office assistant in Nigeria. And she like, what do you want to do? What are you doing? She was still in school, but on her off days, she works as an office assistant. I'm like, what do you want to do? She's like, oh, she doesn't make money. Like, she goes to work, blah, blah. I'm like, do you make hair? She said, yeah, she does make hair for herself. I'm like, what about other people? She said, no, she doesn't like to deal with other people. I'm like, wait, you have a skill, but you don't want to build on it. You rather do the menial office work and get paid below minimum wage. By the time we did work, we worked with her and everything. Right now, this girl is banking.
Are you serious?
Making bank. Making bank. Just doing hair. She's graduated. She's done her youth service.
Oh, wonderful.
I'm like, yeah. Mm-hmm. And that is the joy for me. I don't put these things out there. I don't care about, like, I want people to be able to come like, thank you, sir, thank you. I'm like, you're good, right? Yeah, but carry on. That's all. Pay it forward still, but carry on.
Pay it forward.
Mm-hmm.
So with Ace, going back to Ace, when I saw it, I mean, there's a couple of tennis clubs out there, but I don't know why, for some reason, that's the first one that came on my For You page on TikTok. Maybe because it's local. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh my God, it's really interesting. Apart from you just wanting to like lose weight at the time, was there a thought that, it's not historically a sport that is accessible to everyone? Generally, it's like the higher ups, the upper class are the ones that play tennis and, they have the particular sports and things like that. Was that also a way to just deconstruct the social norms, like making it accessible to those that traditionally...
Funny enough, yeah. Mm-hmm. Funny enough. I try not to think that deeply about things.
No?
Yeah.
Okay. I would think you would be very...
It's too much energy. If I want to do it, I just do it.
Well, we had that conversation. That's true. You told me that.
I just do. I don't want to, because once I start thinking about it, I'll start building roadblocks. I'll be the one to talk myself or think myself out of it. So if I think about something, I just do it. Right now, I'm into golf. I'm going to play golf. I'm back to swimming. I will swim. Like I would do what I want to do without thinking about it, without having to factor in other people's ideas or factor in societal views or no. Mm-hmm. That's it. This is who I am.
No limitations.
Yes. Mm-hmm. No holdbacks. None of that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. If someone in our audience was to pick up your book, I'm Not a Painter, we're going to put it up on the screen. A man who is externally successful, he checks all the boxes, rich, tall, handsome, life of the party, loved by everyone. But internally, he feels like he's performing. What do you want him to feel when he's closing the last page of the book?
I want him to have a map already. Even if not the entire map, I want him to have the first few steps on the journey to the way out of it. After going through the book, after going through all the frameworks I put in there, after doing all the exercises, I want him to be able to say, okay, I have a plan. Mm-hmm. This is what I want to do. This is how I'm going to do it. By the last page, he should have gotten rid of all the noise. Mm. By the last page, he should have shed himself of all the unnecessary weight. by the last page, his circle should have shrunk, because if you don't lose people on this journey, you're not doing it the right way. You're not doing it the correct way. Because I promise you, a lot of the people around us, around you, a lot of them, it's all noise.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, we need alliances. I had a conversation with an older friend of mine the other day. He called me out on something I did to him, and I respected that.
Mm-hmm.
And he said he respected me more. I'm like, why? He said, because I was receptive of the conversation. I'm like, bro, I respect you more because you actually opened up. You're older than me. You actually opened up to tell me these things. Other people would just...
And then just like look at you sideways.
Yes.
You know.
And that the level of respect, bro, yes. I respect that dude now.
That's really good. That's really good. That's good. I think personally, I have a hard time calling out people. I do. And it's not because I'm trying to be liked by everyone or like nice to everyone. It's just, I have to learn to. But it's like if I am treating you the way I want you to, I can't control how you react, but at least I can control how I'm treating you. And yet what you're giving me is something else, then I just feel like, well, you've done what you've done. What will me saying something change? All I have to do now is figure out, is it worth staying or is it not?
That's usually the way people deal with things. But you need to understand that we're all human beings.
Grace.
That element of grace is required, is necessary for relationships to thrive.
It is.
You need to give grace.
At what point is it enough to give grace? Where now it starts becoming
says
like,
70 times 7, innit? He said 70 times 7.
That was Jesus. At what point is it enough?
I can't tell. I can't tell what your threshold is. I used to be a sucker for pain, but not anymore.
At what time is enough? Because sometimes I'm like, once you do something, I look at you sideways. I'm like,
but if you have an end goal,
yeah,
and there always has to be an end goal. There isn't. Nobody's just tagging along for the sake of tagging along. There has to be an end goal. What are we doing? Mm-hmm. What is the base of this relationship? Are we just cool because we're cool?
Yeah.
If we're cool because we're cool, I'll catch you when I'm free.
I see. I guess it's also how important the relationship is to you, right? Like the end goal, like what is, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I see that. I can see that. So what is next for you?
Ooh. I have, I'm working on 3 books. Mm-hmm. I have a follow-up workbook to the I'm Not a Painter book. It's called the Painter's Palette. Mm-hmm. It's more like a daily activity. Mm-hmm. For you wake up, you go through it daily. It's going to help you work through your days. It helps with journaling because I wanted to encourage individuals to journal on their daily basis. Exercise their minds, exercise the demons. What worked today, what didn't work. That way helping you get 1% better in each passing day. So that's the most immediate book coming out. Then the other things, my foundation launched last year. So a lot of the work we're doing is through the foundation, the Charles Okpala Foundation.
What is it called?
The Charles Okpala Foundation.
Charles Okpala Foundation. Yeah. Okay.
So that launched last year. We're doing a lot of work. We have projects going on. And aside from that, just taking it one day at a time.
Yeah, and then your MBA.
Yes.
How is that going to help you? I mean, with all this 8 years and the executive, how is that? As executive.
I mean, it's
just more managerial skills, leadership. skills?
Yes, and with the advancement of tech, so it's an executive MBA with a concentration in AI. So with the advancement of technology and in the business world and all that, it's just making the portfolio look better. And so far, I'm an honors student. I never.
Of course. I saw this statistics that said, I think it was another coach that we had on the podcast. People that are emotionally intelligent tend to make more money than people who are not. Just like a regular statistics that we had, which means someone who is emotionally intelligent compared to their counter colleague that is not emotionally intelligent, they're more likely to make a lot more money throughout their lifetime. They are like 10% more.
I'll need to do that research.
Yes. And, when we think of it, I can kind of see why, not as a researcher, but looking at it, I could see why. You're more likely to be calm, you know what I mean? Different situations, handle things better, have your emotions under control. You don't just flare up and go down and, and that's stability. Companies need stability.
They do.
Like if I'm looking to hire someone for an executive role, I need you to be able to be calm in the storm.
In my job, my boss, the C-suite level guys, they look at me like, Charles, how are you? What are you doing? In the middle of the meeting, like, okay, everyone, Charles just launched a book. Go read it. Then further down the line, they're like, they call me like, Charles, how do we make things better in the office? I'm like, we need to start meditating. So we initiated a
no way
weekly meditation session. Mondays, every morning, 15 minutes. Fridays, in the evening, before 4:30. Do 15 minutes of meditation, of mindedness. Oh, yeah.
Has it improved the overall company
yes,
morale?
Yes, it has.
Oh, wow.
Yes, it has.
That's wonderful.
It sure has.
I wish we went deeper into that. What does the meditation entail? Because I don't know. This is stuff that maybe I might need to do I need to get people to meditate?
No, it does.
It does.
Actually does. I promise you. 10, 15 minutes of mindedness there, of meditation. Guided. And it's free on YouTube. You can just open, just do 15 minutes Monday morning, 15 minutes Friday evening.
Monday morning is good too because, the week comes in with a rush. We all don't like Mondays, so get your mind ready, get your mind in the right place.
Yep.
Okay. Well, look at that. We uncovered something new too. I love this. You have done amazing work on yourself, amazing work helping other people through your foundation.
Thank you.
Amazing work, with the different businesses that you have. Overall, just like positive things, whether it's the A's, the Stylight, which is the beverage drinks, and your foundation, everything. It's all in a very positive way, contributing to the betterness of society and folks.
That's
Any final?
That's why we're here, though.
Yeah.
To make
life better. To solve a problem.
Yes.
Any last final words you want to share?
Guys, everyone, you do not need other people's permission to live. Live on your terms. Work on yourself. Be better. And pay it forward. That's all.
That's it?
That's it.
All right. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed our episode. We will leave Mr. Charles' information in the description below. He's going to be collaborating on the different posts that we have on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, the YouTube. He's going to be on there so you know how to find him if you want to work with his organization. If you just want to have a conversation with him, you like what he said, you're looking forward to purchasing his book, definitely check us out. And I will see you in our next episodes. Bye.